Dear Diarrhea, diary full of shit, just playing with me, myself, and I, no one else. Yo, I'm so legit. I'm listening to me to some YouTube, and I needed to plug my phone in, and I needed to go get it out of my room, and bring it out here to the living room. And the clock on the wall says 34, so I got up and I'm all, dirty whore, 30, or I said 34, dirty whore, 34, dirty whore. Hut hut! I don't know why I did that, but it's just what popped into my mind. And it made me think of, no, not Mrs. Butthead. She's not 34, but she soon will be. She'll be hitched by then. If she isn't, she's probably going to be one of these gals who cries herself to sleep at night. So, if she isn't already. She might be still hanging on to hope. But she's also up there at age. She's probably reflecting back on her life. Like her body count is probably at least 34. But like I said, she's not really. We don't know these things, okay? I just, you know what I mean? It's, chicks, it is what it is, okay? I'm not saying it's. Well, chicks have a lower sex drive and shit. It's like it equals out. You know? It's just, it is what it is. I've talked about that before. How a dude, it's like the more partners he has, it's like because it's hard for a guy to get laid. I've said all this shit. I'm not gonna say it again. Mr. Pellet, if this thing can get laid, don't tell me. All a girl has to do, she can be the ugliest, nastiest, fucking fattest broad, and just walk in and say, "Hey, fellas, anybody wanna fuck me?" And somebody's gonna be like, "Sure," you know. And it's just a different. It's like it's unfair, but it's kind of also not. So if you're one of these chicks, who has a higher sex drive or whatever your reason is, and you sleep around a lot, you've got, multiple partners. Guess what? When it comes time to settle, you are of lower value. Period. As we're a dude, it's like okay, this guy's obvious. Like I said, he's got something. Chicks want to fuck him. And you might be some broad who's like, well, I'm player, I want you to love me and only me, so I'm going to get you to fall in love with me and only me. And she makes it her mission, and it may or may not work, but it's just how the game is played. So, but yeah, I don't think Mrs. Butthead is actually like a, I refer to her as a floozy and a skis and this, that, and the other, but like I said, the village bicycle thing, definitely not a good look. She may have her reasons, she somewhat knows them. Because I don't know her past. She just worked there for 2 years and just all this stuff just sort of happened. Wrong place, wrong time, whatever. But, well, it's like her, I don't know if she was friends with her or not, but she was a real piece of shit, a hate whore, bona fide, certified. And she's since been transferred or whatever. Her name was Reese's Peanut Butter Cup, but she preferred that everybody call her Cup O' Peanut Butter. And like 3 times I heard her say this. Like I said, what are the odds? I walked in and she was explaining to some driver, I mean, my mom she actually said this. She's like, my mom named me Reese's Peanut Butter Cup and whatever else she said. But basically what she's saying is, that's what it says on my birth certificate. That's what my mom named me. Now, don't get me wrong, I love her. She's my most favorite person in the whole world, but she wasn't a manager at McDonald's for 3 years and then got hired on as a manager here. And, my name is actually pronounced Couple Peanut Butter. So it's like, you can't help but like wonder, did she say that like 10 times every fucking day? Or something like that? You see where I'm going with this? You're just, like with Mrs. Butthead, and I'm talking about her again. Okay? I'm almost done, really. I'll get the Instagram up and going, and then I'll start talking about all my future ex-wives and shit. But, like I said, not a good look. Not a good look. She's obviously unaware of that. Like, I've had enough of the dating apps or whatever. Because, like I said, she's a fugly duckling. And she somewhat knows, these upstanding, wonderful, wonderful specimens of humanity. So I don't know. You never know why a person does what they does, whatever their tactics are, versus her friend. Her friend has the luxury to vet a person and kind of play the game and kind of tease and flirt. Mrs. Butthead does that. The dude's gonna be like, well, fuck it. Although I take that back, because the low life bottom feeders that she, dated, it was, they're. You'll just have to take my word for it. So I think that was sort of I don't know, I don't know. But my point is, her friend, if there's a dude that she's interested in, he's going to be interested in her. He's going to be a higher caliber dude. Yes, he's going to have, the luxury to go find other, higher caliber chicks, as where Mrs. Butthead's dudes are not. So it's kind of like two peas in a pod. You've got two bottom feeders who are like, hey, want to do this? Sure, okay. So she's just on a different level. And her friend is on a level where it's not like, hey, you want to just like, you, me, yeah, okay. It's like, you, me, maybe, let's see, are we compatible? Do I like you? Do you like me? She's got that luxury, because she's on a different level, a different rung. So, and she dates less because she's dating higher quality people, because Mrs. Butthead, she's dating these chumps where even her, she's like, okay, I've had enough. You fucking loser. But okay, leprechauns are fun and everything, sort of whatever, but anyway, not digging the leprechaun vibe no more, So, and Mrs. Butthead being the chick, seeing as they're on, two peas in a pod, bottom feeders, she's like, she's got the higher value, you know what I mean? So she gets to like leave, and that's how that game works. So that's where her friend, I don't know. But anyway, so that made me think of, so the clock said 34, so my mind just for some reason goes 34, dirty whore. I don't know why, it just did. But it reminded me of, I pulled up to the gate once at work. It's probably, I don't know, 3 or 4 weeks ago. And the dude, he's this jolly guy. He's always got a smile on his face. He kind of did like this scooch across the way there, like he was doing some sort of football drill or something. And when I got up to the window, he was outside, and this other guy was checking me in, and then he walked in, and all of a sudden I go, blue 42, tuck and roll. And the one guy who was checking me in was unaware of this. So he's looking at me like, what the fuck? And I pointed, and he was doing he was scooting across the way, and he did an example, of what he was doing. And but went over to my folks' folks' house today, saw the dogs, ate some tacos. This would normally be the first day of my 3-day fast, back out, but I'll fast tomorrow. And the day after, and then, like I said, 2 days of, sit between 750 and 1,000 calories, about 60, well, more like 70 to 75 grams of protein, light muscle exercise, and light, like treadmill or walk or whatever. This weekend I'm going to go buy me a bench press, the big kind with 45-pound bar. I do want the kind that has the leg extensions for front and back of your legs on the end. I want to get one of those multi-station workout machines and a weight rack, so I can have all the different weights. And twice a week I'm going to eat. It'll still be, like I said, when I do eat, I eat within a 4-hour window. Twice a week on my Friday and Saturday, eat a regular meal, as long as it's under 2,000 calories, within my window. And I know, my hate whores or critics or whoever, whatever, are thinking, you eat a single meal that has 2,000 calories in it? Well, no, but that shit adds up quick. You eat like 2 large steaks, you're at like 1,500 calories right there. So, and like that's it, you know what I mean? And then some asparagus and a salad or something, you know what I mean? And I've got them set up, as far as calories from left to right, and then I'm looking at sodium from front to back, so I've got this shit, I'm like, okay, well this is the least amount of calories, but it has a little bit more sodium, so I'm trying to like look at these, because I'm an eligible bachelor, right? So I've got like, my sister thinks it's funny, I got a refrigerator full of nothing but condiments and bologna and cheese. I got like 6 different kinds of mustard, 7 different kinds of ranch dressing, 12 different types of hot sauce. I got some pineapple stuff that's really, really good. And I got this stuff that's made with the Carolina Reaper pepper. You gotta like shake it up before you use it. It is good. It is very, very good. But you have to eat it sparingly. I was dipping taquitos in it, and I was dipping it like 3 times per taquito. And the thing about hot stuff is, as everybody knows, it creeps up on you. So I'm like, I'm fucking fat ass. Feed your face, you fat motherfucker. And by like the 6th one, I'm like, and it creeps up on you. But I ordered it online. Oh yeah. But anyway. So you just eat a couple, normal, without the stuff, and then carefully, it's good, but eat cautiously. Yeah, this is my, my week home. So, a lot of temptation, but haven't, I got to do this, so it's not a thing. I've got 2 bottles of, Kraken rum, 2 full bottles, and I buy the big, gallon bottle or whatever the hell it is. If you was a critic, you might think, well, gee, you've got 3 weeks ahead of you, what's one bender, Well, that one bender is basically a week lost, at least. My blood pressure is down into normal now, so we're good on that. Because that's all I could ever do, when I had to get it down like within 7 days. I could get it down to the high normal, because I was always coming off of a week bender, which is actually pretty damn good if, you can manage to do that, in 7 to 10 days. But now it's been 2 weeks, and now it's just in the normal. So it was like 118 over 78 or something like that. So that's normal. I'd like to get it down to like, well, I don't want it much lower than that, but like 118 over like 72, 74 or something like that. With a resting heart rate eventually. I'd like to have a resting heart rate of like 55. So, but the heart rate, that fluctuates very easily. But right now, my resting heart rate is 70. At night, it slows down into the 60s. But, I'd like to get it down to, 55, 60 resting heart rate. But, and when I look at myself in the mirror, you wouldn't think it. You'd think I'd be worse off. So, like I said, my physique right now is definitely not good. I would consider myself, like how I look with my shirt off, is a sloppier version of Tank Abbott back in the day. It's like, okay, yeah, there's muscles, in those arms. It's not just fat. Fat doesn't ripple and move and puff up when you move it. But, still got a lot of work to do. So, that's all I gotta say though. Like, because I live beside myself. It's like, I knew I wouldn't, but it's amazing how easy shit is. And I mean this humbly, and I know I've said it before, but just absolutely, it wasn't even. It's like, dude, what's one bender? It just, no, it doesn't. It's kind of amazing. Like, I remember when I was trying to get my blood pressure down one time before a DOT physical. I said that in an audio presentation. I'm like, I actually got up early and did the treadmill. You believe that shit? I would never do that in 1,000 years. I don't have that kind of motivation. Ain't nobody got that kind of motivation. Shit. Maybe I should have my back against the wall all the time. Maybe I should just live my life painted in a corner. Nah, I don't think so. But, anyway. Guess that's all I got to say, baby. I was driving past the home from my folks' house. I drove past the animal sanctuary, and there was a black bear walking through the weeds. It was kind of cute. See, those are like rescue bears, my mom and dad and nephews and stuff went there one time. And so, like bear, when they see people, they get up and like start to dance and shit. Which is kind of cute, but it's also kind of sad. Like really sad, you know what I mean? It's like this is a broken and basically abused bear, basically. You think that bear liked that life? Maybe it did. I don't know. Maybe he's just like rolling around on his back. He's like, hey, this is a life, man. I'm a circus performer. They feed me. This guy's my belly. All I gotta go out is go out there and wear this stupid little vest and dance around. It's a bear's life. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he's like, fuck. But it was kind of cute, it was a little black bear, and they kind of got those round bodies and those round butts and whatnot. You just kind of want to go over there and hug them and ride around on them and stuff, but it's probably not a good idea. So, and I saw it was like a hatchback van today, or not, what the fuck am I, it looked kind of like a Toyota 4Runner, but it wasn't. And the reason I mention it is because it's black, and it has like an orange and yellow stripe down the side. It's the same stripe as like the A-Team van with Mr. T back in the day. And the reason I mention that is because I have seen this vehicle before. And I did not see it out here. I don't remember where I saw it, but it wasn't out here. For some reason, I've got it in my mind that I saw it in the mountains. Like I was on I-70 driving somewhere. This is probably like, well, it wasn't winter time, so it had to have been at least like 4 or 5 months ago. And I think I was going to do an audio presentation about it, but forgot or something. Because it caught my eye. I'm like, hey, those are the A-Team colors. And I saw it again today. So it's either, because that's a rare, I'm kind of thinking it was the same dude. But, anyway. Oh, and I still, what am I up to on time here? Anyway, I put my fucking glasses on. Ah, jeez, I'm up here 1,000 minutes. But I stumbled across a data comparison channel, and one of them was convicted death row inmates' last meal. Another one was their last words. And then I stumbled across states and the pros and cons. And it only listed one pro and one con. So they, I guess, picked the top one. And so, like, Rhode Island was like, you know, the people are friendly, but, you know, lousy drivers. One of them was like, you know, affordable housing, but, you know, lots of snow. And Colorado was, I believe, it was good schools. Okay, I'll take your word for it, whatever. I don't remember. And the con was bad traffic. And I thought, no shit. But like I said, they can only pick one. That's why I think it's kind of funny, because they chose that one. Because Nevada, I don't remember what the pro was, but the con was lots of accidents. Now you could lump all that shit into Colorado as well. Lots of traffic, lousy drivers, lots of accidents. But they could only pick one. So I thought that was kind of interesting. And then I stumbled across like some caving accidents, because there was this like underwater commercial diving thing where this guy got stuck, his arm got stuck in a hole or whatever. And let's see, then some caving stuff, and then the inmate stuff. And something popped up about Charles Manson. And they did an interview, and this one dude wrote a book or whatever, and basically he said the same thing I said. You know, Charles Manson is just a chump. You know, he's just this groovy dude, you know, who has a way with words, and, you know, he's just this hip, jiving, vibing dude. So, if anybody sees that and, you know, thinks I'm plagiarizing, no. This guy, obviously, you know, back in 1987 or whatever, whenever they did that interview, he obviously heard, you know, my audio presentation that I did a couple days ago, and, you know, great minds think like mine. Well, anybody with half a brain, at least half, which probably eliminates at least half of my online family and friends, because I've got a lot. I mean, look at all them subbies, yo. That's where all these views are coming from. So, I mean, one of them got like 10. So, like I said, I don't actually want, you know, subscribers and shit. So, anyway, yeah, he was a dingbat. He's clever. He's funny. He's witty. You know, he's smart. You know, like he said in one of his interviews, you know, what did he say? He said he knows he's incompetent. And he said something like, you know, but that's a good thing. Incompetent people have to do less. Oh my God, that sounds like something I would say. In fact, I've probably said something along those lines before. But, you know, so he's switched on. He's on it. But that's just, you know, who he is. You know, he's a street person. You know, it's like he said, because I watched one of his things. It was like a 10-minute deal, and that's why I decided to mention this, you know. Because there's always some hate whore out there who's going to be like, I saw something that you said the same thing. You must be plagiarizing. Well, like I said, you know, I just make shit up. I find out later that it's accurate. So, but that sounds almost something like Charlie Manson would say. I have no idea why these people, you know, whatever, I don't know. But yeah, he prefers to hang out with, you know, what did he say, winos, prostitutes, and bums and shit like that. So, and he's awfully full of himself. Cause he's like, you know, you think if I was a murderer, you'd all be dead, you know, and stuff like that. This is just 5 minutes with me. Imagine if you had to spend a couple days with me. Oh, is that right, Mr. Crazy Eyes? I think if I had to spend a couple days with you, I'd probably have to end you, Mr. fucking guru, cult leader, crazy person you. You ain't pulling that shit with me, hippie. These malleable, useful idiots, shells of human beings, you got them under your wing, especially the ladies, the little girls there. You ain't shit, punk.